What is going on, guys? Horizon here, and on today's episode of RLCS Game Plan, we are taking a deep dive into the gameplay of Team BDS. Now, I know this must be incredibly shocking for a lot of you. However, after their second consecutive regional championship, there is just so much to break down that makes this team virtually unbeatable. But before we do jump into it, as always, if you guys are enjoying the content and you feel like making somebody's day today, please consider clicking that bright red subscribe button right down below this video. It really does help me out a lot more than you guys realize, and I really do appreciate it. Now let's dive in once again to the gameplay of Team BDS. We are going to pick things up with 4 minutes to go in Game 4 of the Grand Final between Team Liquid and Team BDS. Now, if you guys watched the previous BDS video, you will know that the way they broke down their opponents was by playing a bit of a blocking style. They weren't really going for outplays in their touches, but rather they were playing to keep their opponents pinned in their half. However, what we're gonna see here against Team Liquid is something a little different. Instead of keeping the ball pinned in their opponent's half, BDS are gonna play a bit more of a counter-attacking style this time around. So let's take a look at exactly what I mean here. So what's gonna happen is we are going to get a clear here from Oski, and we're gonna see how things roll forward. So now what we're gonna look at is we're gonna look at the positioning of the back two BDS players as Extra goes up to get this clear. So Seiko, in this position, knows that based on the angle that Extra's coming from, the ball is most likely gonna go this way. So he has no reason to put himself into this play. So he is clear to go get this boost. Monkey Moon, on the other hand, is going to be able to play this touch from Extra. So what we're gonna realize is that as BDS works to get the ball out of their half, there is almost 0 times that they will ever just boom the ball away to open space. Once they have control of the game, they will keep the ball close to themselves, or they will play the ball to a teammate. They will almost never bang the ball into open space. And that's exactly what we're going to see here as we roll this forward. We'll see Extra go up to get this ball. So as Extra goes up for this clear, we'll notice that the angle that he's coming at this ball from, he's not trying to put a whole lot of power off the backboard to get a clear with it. He's trying to keep this ball relatively in a neutral area where either himself or his teammates can follow up on this ball. So we'll notice that Monkey Moon has slowed down here in the midfield, and he is just watching what happens with this clear. And as soon as he sees there's an opportunity for him to go up to challenge this ball, he will do so. So if we roll this forward, we can see that this ball comes off the backboard. Oski was already in the air. So if Oski gets a touch on this, we're going to be relying on Seiko to be taking care of whatever touch comes out. However, Monkey Moon is playing the miss. You'll notice that he has already jumped. So he doesn't care whether Oski gets a touch or not because he knows he has help back behind him. And he's going to go up and try to get this ball to maintain possession for BDS. He's going to go up, and he's going to get this touch. Now you'll notice that this touch also does not put the ball overly far away from where any member of BDS can attack it. It doesn't shoot up into the ceiling, doesn't shoot into the sidewall, doesn't drop right for an opponent to put a shot on net. Kind of just hangs nicely where BDS should be able to move forward to get a potential next touch. We roll this forward, we will notice that the ball does drift probably a little bit farther than Monkey Moon would have liked. He probably would have wanted to keep that a little bit closer to his team. But Atao's going to go up to get this touch, which is fine. He's going to get this touch. He can't really do a whole lot with this touch based on where everyone is and where this ball is. Like, the only thing he can really do is put this back towards the corner, and Monkey Moon's right there to get the clear out. So we'll see him get this touch down. Now, I believe his plan was to play this down to a Chronic. However, you kind of have all 3 members of BDS just piled up here, waiting for this to happen. So now Seiko's going to come in and get this next challenge. And once again, in terms of the whole idea of either play to your teammates or play close to yourself, he could very easily angle this ball and just boom it downfield. But if he booms it downfield, BDS just lose all possession. So instead what he's going to do is he's going to take an angle on this ball that allows him to hit it with power off the sidewall, which number one makes it harder for the opponents to read, and it makes it easier for his own teammates to follow up on the play. So if we roll this forward, we'll see he gets the touch off the sidewall, and now because Oski and Kronovi were likely expecting some kind of big boom, no one is in position to deal with this ball, which allows Extra to fly up immediately and get the next touch for BDS. He gets this clear downfield, and then a bit of a fortunate ending here, but if we look at what Extra tries to do, we'll notice that again, he's not attempting to put a shot on net. Because if he puts a shot on net, he knows that there's two defenders back. So all that's going to happen is Kronovi and Oski are going to get a very easy clear and a free ball with a free possession. So instead, what are BDS going to do? Well, I'm not going to bang the ball away, I'm going to keep it either close to myself or close to my teammates. So instead of shooting this, Extra drops it right down to Seiko. Now Seiko does miss, but in reality, him missing is probably the best thing that can happen, as it fakes out the entire defense. But through that entire play, at no point did BDS ever go, here Liquid, have the ball back, you guys take a turn with the ball, we need boost, we need to refill. BDS was so in charge of this entire game that they were able to take soft touches, keep the ball close to themselves, keep the ball close to their teammates, make sure that whenever they're moving out of defense, they were using passing to get themselves out instead of trying to always solo play. We'll see a lot of teams throughout the RLCS rely a lot on solo plays to clear the ball out of their defensive half. FaZe comes to mind as a big proponent of that, in which all three players, if they have the opportunity, are going to take the solo play to clear the ball rather than go for the passing route, although that does seem to be changing relatively recently. But BDS, on the other hand, will always utilize their teammates to get the ball out of their defensive half, and unless they're absolutely forced to, they are never moving that ball away to open space. We're going to move on forward here, and we'll see another example of how BDS utilizes this defensive strategy to take down their opponents. So we're going to pick things up with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left, with BDS holding a 2-1 lead. We have a shot coming in from Kronovi here going a bit high, Extra manning the backboard. And what we're going to see here is the first time that BDS actually just booms the ball away to open space rather than taking a controlled touch. Because if we roll this forward, we're going to see Extra come jumping off the wall, and he's going to boom this ball away in the direction of Oski. Now, I don't know if he didn't realize that this ball was going to stay on the backboard, if he thought it might have been in, because otherwise, I'm pretty positive that he would have just caught this ball on the back wall and took controlled touches along the curve to try to beat out Oski instead of handing the ball away right to Oski's position. But even still, even with BDS having this one lapse where they give the ball away, we're going to see exactly how they immediately recuperate and immediately get back into their game plan. This ball comes flying into Oski. Extra's landing. So with the Extra out of the play, Seiko is going to come in for this challenge. Now you'll notice how fast Seiko gets out to this challenge, because he doesn't want to allow Oski any time to actually control this ball. The longer Seiko lets him dribble, the more dangerous Oski becomes. And by closing this distance quickly, he really shuts down the amount of options Oski has. Additionally, by getting this ball off of Oski, it makes it far easier for our third man to come in to make a play on the ball if need be. So he's going to go ahead and get this challenge and get Oski off the ball. We'll see that even as the challenge is coming in, Monkey Moon is already moving out, and that's down to a couple of things. Number one, he's pretty confident that Seiko is going to get some kind of challenge, either a touch, a bump, something on this ball. But also, with how slow the ball is moving, there is no immediate threat on the net from that distance away that Monkey Moon can't handle, and by gaining momentum, he's going to make it a lot easier for himself to challenge this ball quickly. When the ball comes down, now we'll notice, again, Monkey Moon is not going to just take this ball and go, oh boy, we're under pressure, let's bang this ball away, because he knows that his teammates probably aren't in the best boost situation. Of course, Extra just landed. Seiko, we don't know his boost situation. He's at 31, so he's not the worst option, but it's always safer to just keep the ball low and in touch with your car, rather than allowing the chance for an opponent to swoop in and steal the play away. So Monkey Moon's going to take this ball down on a dribble, and now his first objective is to get the ball around Oski. Doesn't matter how he does it, just needs to get the ball around him. So we see he just gets this slight touch. Now this touch, rightfully so, baits in the Team Liquid offense. Because they're like, oh cool, everyone's a bit out of position, we can actually probably do something about this. What they didn't account for is that this ball did not go far enough to take Seiko out of the play. So Seiko's gonna go, cool, free touch, let's be unpredictable, let's put that into an area that my teammates can follow up on, and the opponent can't. So we'll see here, he gets this touch to the side. Why does he get this touch to the side? Well, that's exactly where Monkey Moon's going. So this ball perfectly goes right across into the path of where Monkey Moon's heading. Monkey Moon can now go up and get this ball and work this ball downfield. Now, of course, if we do look at the boost totals, Monkey Moon is a little low. So, a lot of players in this situation would totally panic, go, okay, low boost, let's just get the ball away, fast as possible, we'll reset, we'll boost up, we'll be good to go. Monkey Moon, on the other hand, he likes to take control of things. So instead of booming the ball away, he's going to let this ball come down, and he's once again going to catch this on this dribble. Now this is where BDS has an advantage of being able to communicate in their native tongue. Since they all speak French, it is a lot easier for them to communicate things quickly than when they had to communicate not in French. And because of that, Extra is very easily and quickly able to tell Monkey Moon to leave this ball and Extra can take over. This is where Monkey Moon taking this soft touch is a real benefit, because if Monkey Moon had just banged the ball away, now Extra would be chasing the ball down the field and Team Liquid would have control of the play. But now with Monkey Moon taking the ball slow, even though he has low boost, a higher boost player on BDS can now come in and take over the play without a whole lot of threat from Team Liquid defenders. So as we'll see here, Extra's going to come in, swoop this ball in, and almost make something happen. Nothing quite's going to come from this, but now we're going to end up in a pretty similar situation to which we were before. In that, Team Liquid's going to bang this ball downfield, and Seiko's going to go up to get the clear. Now, this one is a bit more dicey because Seiko doesn't have a guaranteed touch on this, and a Chronic's already up. And BDS are going to get a little lucky that a Chronic misses this, but we'll see how this play unfolds after this. So when Chronic misses the double, we'll see that Extra, instead of rotating wide, rotated narrow to make sure he can be here to make a play, because he knows that if a Chronic's going to hit the shot, he's going to hit the shot, so that's a moot point. If a Chronic doesn't hit the shot, and the ball bounces somewhere into the midfield, Extra is now around to deal with that ball. So by Extra coming narrow here instead of wide, he's able to quickly come in and just apply pressure to Atao. Extra's not even going to jump for this ball. He's just going to make sure that Atao knows he's here, so that Atao knows he has to challenge this ball pretty quickly. So now we've baited Atao into a bit of a interesting situation for sure. He's kind of just carrying this ball aimlessly in the air, and now what Extra is going to do is he's going to pick up this boost, and he's going to go on the wall. And he's just going to sit here, and he's going to wait until Atao pretty much runs out of things to do. So we'll see here that as soon as Atao loses control, now Extra's jumping. If Atao was still in full control, Extra might have waited a bit longer, because there's no threat from Atao here. There's nothing he can do to threaten the BDS defense. So Extra's just like, cool, do your thing, I'll wait, once you're done, we'll take back over. Now that Atao's done, Extra's going to go ahead and challenge and get this major win. Now this is where we're going to see a bit of a problem from the Team Liquid defense. Because you have Oski, right here, in a pretty good position to defend the net. However, he sees this ball go up, and for some reason he thinks that even though Extra's still in the air, he has the ability to go up and challenge this ball at this point. The problem with this theory is that his last man back, a Chronic, is nowhere near the goal. So if Oski gets beat, there's not a whole lot that a Chronic's going to be able to do to stop this BDS push. But this is when we'll notice that even in this challenge, Extra is trying to put this ball in a position where his teammates can follow it up. If we look at the touch that Extra is getting here, it still follows the same rule we've been looking at this entire time, even though he's doing it through a 50-50. Because based on this touch, it keeps a whole bunch of options open for BDS. Because he has boost left, so this ball is going to go up into the ceiling, and he can actually continue to aerial after this, and get a touch further down the field, and possibly put a shot on net. Additionally, because of where he puts this ball, and because he's still in the air, all eyes from Team Liquid are on this ball up here, which means that Monkey Moon has free reign to just drive in, undetected, scoop underneath this, and put a shot on goal, and no one's the wiser. So if we roll this forward here, we'll see that Oski makes his questionable jump, which realistically he shouldn't have even bothered, should have just kept driving on the ground and they might have had a chance. But Extra is up, he's following this, but he's going to get called off by Monkey Moon, and Monkey Moon's going to come in and slot this shot right on net. And this is again another example of how being able to communicate in French for this team is so valuable, because he can very quickly tell Extra, hey, don't worry, I got this, leave it, don't touch it. And we'll actually see Extra pull off this ball right around here as he points his nose backwards and starts to boost in the opposite direction, which allows Monkey Moon to come in from underneath and put this shot on net. So now, in the last two events, we have seen two different offensive strategies from BDS. One where they kept their opponent pinned in their half by going for blocking touches instead of outplays, as we saw in Regional Event 1, and now here in Regional Event 2, they're allowing their opponents to get the clears, but then when the ball does land in BDS possession, they aren't relinquishing it. Like the entire series, unless they absolutely have to, will BDS ever relinquish control of that ball, they will always look to play the ball close to themselves or close to a teammate. So the fact that they have two completely different strategies that they can go to at a moment's notice is absolutely terrifying for not only European Rocket League, but also worldwide Rocket League. I'll be interested to see how this translates in London for the Spring Split Major, but it should be interesting to see if any team is able to actually take this team down with just how fast they can change how they're playing the game. So thank you everybody so much for watching, as I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications. If you guys have any video ideas, suggestions, anything like that, go ahead and throw those down in the comments below. As always, I look forward to checking those out. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.